Four Brewers.
Four Brewers.
Four Brewers.
Four Brewers is brought to you by FerkFest.
Featuring over 30 breweries from throughout Southern California.
A gourmet chili cook-off featuring local chefs.
A cask-ale panel with local brewers and craft beer experts.
FerkFest is Orange County's premier cask ale festival.
For tickets and more information.
For tickets and more information.
For tickets and more information.
For tickets and more information, go to ferkfest.com.
That's it.
All right. Sweet. Easy peasy.
Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer,
Jason Harris,
Greg Nagel.
Once again, we're joined by our good friend John Ridey. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, guys? The Temecula Beer Ambassador.
Himself.
Self-proclaimed.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. If someone's going to give themselves a title, that's a good one. We've got a one brewery special today. We are going exclusively Anchorage Brewing Company, a brewery that we featured briefly in the past.
I think it was our first beer ever.
Was it really?
I think so. Wasn't
to
it?
Alaska.
What was it may have, I think on the first episode we did one of their beers. Someone in the IRC chat can look that up.
Wow.
Help us out here.
The very
IRC
first
chat.
episode.
We did, which one was it? The Galaxy IPA, maybe?
I don't think it was the
it was
Galaxy.
the reindeer one.
Doubling up?
It was like a Santa thing.
Yeah, we had that Iditarod one.
Iditarod beer, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's right. With the funny.
Referencing fourbrewers.com.
Working out the bugs.
Let's see. Our first show was working out the bugs, and
Yep, Rondy
Brew.
Rondy. That's right, the
Rondy.
Rondy.
Does it make you Rondy?
great labels, by the way.
Dude, Anchorage
And the
has
seltzer
probably
water.
the best bottle art. Like, a buddy of mine took one of these bottles and used it as his soap dispenser for his kitchen sink.
That's fucking
That's
rad.
Yeah.
How the
just-
hell did it do that?
You just put a little thing on the top, like a
like
fucking
a
little
pump?
pourer. No, it's like a kind of like a
spout?
pour that you'd use on
Like you would put in olive oil?
yeah,
Or
exactly.
like a bottle of liquor or something like that?
Yeah, I think his
That's
girlfriend
fucking
found it
cool.
on Pinterest.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Pinterest.
Yeah, it was the one with the owl on it because his girlfriend really likes owls. Shout out to my buddy Steve.
Oh, nice.
Hope he's listening. Not Cookie
My
Steve.
wife
different
loves
Steve.
owls too.
Different Steve.
That's funny.
Yeah, so their
shout
whiteout,
out.
their whiteout has a really cool looking owl on it. So we
That's right,
we
the
go out of
whiteout
our way
wit.
to buy owl themed beers for her. Like I have a bottle of Cahoots from Winter on deck.
Nice.
Yep.
So on our Anchorage special, we've got
Anchorage all the time.
we've got a few favorites and one motherfucking whale. But we're gonna start out with the Galaxy White IPA, bottled with Brett.
I don't see any wax over there. Which one's the whale? I can't really tell.
There's no,
Oddly,
it's a no wax whale.
The one that's not corked and caged, whales, bro.
wax-free whale.
Like
In this day and age, you have to put wax on your damn, like, for anybody to buy it.
Put on a pale ale, makes it a whale.
There's a local brewery who I won't put on blast who just puts out terrible beers with all sorts of random shit in them with wax.
They wax everything. And they have like 9 beers that are waxed for some reason.
And then they just charge $15 and people are like, wow.
yeah.
And
It's waxed. It's got to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible.
This is the whitest beer I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's incredibly white. It's like
Not to be racist,
it's virtually opaque.
I'm so dang diddly angry. This beer is mostly head. It's one of my favorite Simpsons.
Mostly head.
He's like, I'm a good host, so I'm obliged to pour you a beer. But I'm so dang diddly angry, it's going to be mostly head.
Dude, this isn't like I guess you could call this an IPA. Maybe. Whoa.
Sorry about that.
Easy there. Galaxy White IPA. It's a Brett IPA. All their beers are Brett, right?
Yeah, all their beers are in fooders, I believe. Barrels are fooders. Fooders for duders. That's the name of my charity. Is Fooders for Duders. If you have a duder with no fooder, that's just not right.
So every day, duders everywhere are going without access to any sort of fooders. For just pennies a day.
Show like
You can sponsor a fooder.
We got to do like we should do an intro of that. Just like
Sally Struthers
you know
just
what?
crying.
No, we're going behind the curtain. Before we leave, I can record every day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta have just like a dude just like look over at the camera longingly like, and then have a picture of a fooder through this duder. This is a duder with no fooder. But this it's certainly hoppy. I mean, this has definitely got plenty of hop to it. But I mean, IPA
Good bitterness.
According to Rate Beer, it is brewed with galaxy hops, coriander, kumquats, and peppercorns, fermented in French oak fooders with a wit yeast, and then dry hopped with galaxy and bottle conditioned on Brett and wine yeast.
Holy moly.
It is a yeasty beastie.
It's a yeasty beastie. It's dry.
Yeah, but I don't know about IPA. It's a delicious beer. But it almost feels more saison-y to me. That's that's the vibe that I get.
I get more of a saison style.
Yeah,
I completely agree. If someone gave this to me and said this is an IPA, it's like no, it's not. This is not. I mean,
you're a fucking IPA.
It doesn't mean the beer's bad. It's a great beer.
No, it's delicious.
I don't know if IPA is the proper.
Maybe in Anchorage, Alaska,
style.
they don't have IPAs, and
no, they have delicious IPAs.
I'm just
in Anchorage,
saying,
Alaska.
maybe people that are like new to beer, like. They think this is an IPA.
Well, they're going to get their doors blown off. They ever come down to
SoCal. I'm just being facetious.
I hope you brought your wood screws because I'm about to blow your doors completely off.
What's that
bitterness in my beer?
Dude, speaking of which, just to point something out, right now I've been seeing Midnight Sun Arctic Devil in stores in California.
Really? Yeah, it's like pretty regularly around.
Seriously?
At your finer establishments.
It's an annual thing, and I don't remember seeing. I'm just like seeing it in stores that I haven't seen it in before, and like that's one of those beers that just completely blew my doors off. Like I remember going to Midnight Sun. What was it, like 5 years ago or so.
Carry on my midnight sun.
Wow.
That just like stripped the thoughts out of my brain.
Second show, third show.
Third show.
Fourth show.
Yeah, we're
fourth show, third show.
Whatever.
We're doing 6 today. We're just gonna bank
show.
6 shows. We wanted to fucking record for the next 2 months.
Hey, as long as I can bang,
I don't know how to math.
As long as I can bang 6 of something.
6 mats and none the richer.
But no, when I went to Midnight Sun, because we went on a cruise and we ended up in Anchorage, I had like their Flemish Red that they just happened to break out a keg of that day, which was amazing. I forget the name of it. And then we also had Arctic Devil, like fresh, like from the source, which was just fucking spectacular. It was so good. Midnight Sun, by the way, tiny little place, but also really cool.
So this beer is, we kind of talked about how it looked a little bit, but this is probably, the whitest white beer I've ever seen. Like it looks whiter than like Hoegaarden.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like that level.
Like, I mean, like what is this? Just all Pilsner malt? Like
it's wheat. It's like Pilsner wheat. Yeah.
White wheat. White wheat.
I mean, is this just like a hopped up Kolsch, basically? What's the ABV on this mofo? 7%. 7%. So
it drinks like about a 4.5.
It does. It's really fluffy, which I like a lot.
Yeah, it's got that Brett character. You know, you've got the little bit of funk on it, but just enough to kind of give it a bite. Like not like it's not overwhelming. It's not like make yourself a funk shake.
Yeah, no, and I always wonder like what kind of Brett they're using to bottle with. I would assume Brooks. I mean, that's kind of like the obvious choice. I would think.
Sweaty one.
Yeah, well, no, well, like Lambic is usually sweatier.
Okay.
Brooks is like that pineapple thing that you're getting.
Yeah, I get the
like,
pineapple, the grapefruit pineapple.
Yeah, I think like the pineapple thing tends to be like a Brett Brooks type thing.
And I do actually get the kumquat.
I get kumquat as well.
Yeah. Which I love kumquats. So.
From IRC also, don't
kumquat.
You pour no more.
Nice.
Way to go, IRC.
Good job, IRC.
That's right. You guys are contributing.
Nice.
We appreciate it.
Vreeland is up there. Vreeland is in this bitch.
Vreeland.
Vreeland was a Mrs. Doubtfire in our last set of episodes, by the way. Just
nice.
Doing nothing but Mrs. Doubtfire quotes in IRC and making me crack. Like I had to laugh off mic a bunch of different times. he opened into the IRC and goes, hello. It was fantastic. Love it. Love it.
I have to say, like, the deeper I'm getting into this glass, the more the bitterness is really
It's
starting
pretty
to pop.
bitter.
Yeah,
The hops
it's
are
like-
coming through.
Yeah, it's punching much more.
Grapefruit rind bitter.
Yeah,
I get
agree.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost pithy.
Yeah.
I would assume that has to do with the kumquats because, I mean, you take a kumquat and just blend it, you're going to get some pith.
Pithy kumquats. That's the name of this
You
episode.
take a kumquat and you blend it, you're gonna get some pith. Like
Little John Madden channel there.
Think about the kumquats. You take the kumquats and you blend them together, you're going to get some pith. Let me tell you about Brett Favre. He's the greatest football player of all
Thank you,
time.
Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Oh, fucking turducken.
Oh, fucking turducken.
Tough actin, tenactin. Ace is the place.
Another sponsor. Look at Greg just going on and on about this recruiting sponsors over
John
there.
Madden, dude. Yeah, huge fan.
Tenactin, do they still? I mean, I guess like who else is in the foot game, the foot spray game? But like, I haven't seen a commercial for them anymore. I guess they're just like, we've got this. Like, people know if they need foot spray, Tough Actin, it puts out the fire on your toes or whatever.
Yeah, you walk in and you're like, well, it's tenactin. That's the only choice I got.
Yeah,
That's true. Are there any other options out there?
I'm sure there's like Up and
I don't
Up
know.
brand
Who knows?
fucking foot
Gold
spray.
Bond powder.
Nah, that's
No,
That's
maybe.
more of a ball area. Powder.
foot powder for your balls.
Some guys are into
It's
that.
football powder.
I'm more of an anti-monkey butt guy.
You can put it there too, I guess.
No, the monkey butt powder.
You
Haven't
mean
you seen
swamp
that?
ass? Swamp
Yeah.
ass?
The
Gold Bond's great for
swampiest of
swamp
ass.
The swampiest of asses.
One thing I want to say, though, as far as Anchorage beers go, they tend to... What? I'm bringing it back.
Reading the IRC.
Oh, is it really?
Well played.
All right. So let's talk about this beer, you guys. So one thing to point out is like Anchorage beers, they tend to be on the pricey side.
They are, yeah.
Well, I mean, they gotta send them on a boat or something. I assume.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like
but-
it's
they've got
almost
a
Dog sled
duck
was
boat.
to Washington.
They have an Iditarod with kegs.
It's those
just,
water planes.
They've got that one dog, and it runs so fucking hard that his heart explodes, and it's really sad for all of us.
This got really depressing.
No, do you remember?
They didn't have enough
It
snow
was that
for the
book that
Iditarod
they
this
made us
year.
read as a kid.
I don't remember that.
French
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, it was like a book about like a dog sled race, and the dog pulling the sled ran like so hard they won the race, but then the dog's heart burst because he worked so damn hard.
Way to bring it down.
It was a sad
wow.
book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And now I'm
Mood
sad.
killer.
you?
Yeah.
In the arms of an angel.
ASPCA.
Oh
no.
Forward all hate mail to
Jason. That's
I
Jason.
didn't kill the fucking dog. It was fiction, and also I didn't write it. I was forced to read it by the goddamn government.
Okay. The
Okay,
point
yeah.
that I was
They
trying to
are-
make is that their lower level beers, like their, especially the whiteout, is really delicious, and you should drink them. That was the point that I was trying to make.
They're worth spending a little bit extra.
Yeah, even,
couple bucks.
even the ones that you
Absolutely.
don't, even the ones that you don't think. I mean, and the Love Buzz is the one that like really kind of blew them
yeah.
up.
Let's see,
You know, I mean,
so
Love
good.
Buzz, which was really spectacular. beer.
Also, dope label.
Yeah.
Their labels the best.
Absolutely.
Like these bottles, like I want to save them. I want to keep them and
I want to put them on your wall.
Right?
Sleep with
Yeah.
them.
And when I was first introduced to Anchorage, I first had Love Buzz, and it blew my mind. Second one that I ever had was this beer that we're going to be drinking next, which is the Tide and its Takers, which is the triple with brettanomyces, which is also
so as in
$15
like
dollars.
a Belgian triple.
I would assume so, yeah. And
They
you know
don't
what?
spell it. They spell it the American way.
Yeah, and you know, honestly,
It's not a triple
fine.
IPA though. So I
yeah,
mean,
exactly. The
Or
thing-
maybe it is based on what we think their definition of IPA is.
Yeah. The feeling that I get from Anchorage is that they, my impression just from like seeing what they call their beers and after drinking them, is they have like a certain style that they kind of start with, and then they just like bastardize it completely. You know what I mean? This does not represent a triple at all.
That's good,
Like, that
man.
you would
They're
think
like, fucking rip the system.
My rinse water is just about the same color as the beer. And look, it's got a galaxy in the bottom.
Just as cloudy.
Yeah, exactly.
The galaxy's on Orion's belt. That was a water break for a little.
Water break.
We had a nice little moment of silence while we all took a drink of water.
Not me. Drink a beer.
Good job, John. Good job.
I feel like I'm like in Siberia over here. Like I have a wall of stuff.
Electronics.
Like
And-
BEER, like Siberia.
Nice.
See what you did there.
Okay. This is second show, fifth show.
Amazing.
Second show, fifth show.
Ooh, that smells nice.
Change the beat of 4 bears.
For burrs.
4 burrs.
Way more fruit on this. Way more of that like pineapple vibe.
Pineapple.
This smells like
some
pineapples.
like smells acidic a little bit.
Yeah, it does have
yeah.
like kind of tartness to it for sure.
And so this beer, it's also a triple with Brit.
Brett.
Bert.
What's up, Brett?
Triple with Bert.
My friend Brett.
Brett
My friend
McKinsey.
Brett. Is he white? I think all Bretts are white.
Brett
Yeah.
Michaels.
Oh, this smells good. Wow. Yeah, that is all fruity.
You know who else had a good beer? Brett Favre.
Let me tell you about Brett Favre. It definitely has that like pineapple. It's oaky too. It's oakier than the
oaky.
last one.
What do you think of it, Matt? What do you
Clean.
what do you
pineapple
How do you like
frog.
the taste of it? Don't read the label.
I thought it was going
I
to
just
be a lot
want
more
to
sour.
hear what you
but
think.
No,
It
it's
smelled
not.
sour, but
Okay.
Mr. Cicerone.
I think it's definitely got like that like pineapple like a little bit of funk. It's definitely got a little bit of woodiness to it.
Asian pear.
Super fruity. is what I'm
After
getting.
drinking this, I can see why they call the last beer an IPA, because it was way more bitter. Now that I'm drinking this, I can
sure.
see how bitter that beer was.
Yeah,
because I
right.
think the yeast character in that last beer really threw me off as far as the whole IPA vibe of it.
What I think about it too, maybe, is that while it doesn't necessarily taste like a traditional IPA, I think it's a beer for people who like IPA.
Yeah, for people who like
That's a good way
IPA
to
to
put
get
it, yeah.
them
Yeah.
into like the Anchorage vibe.
Yeah, it's more like if you're the kind of person who likes an IPA, you will like that beer, and so that's kind of the point of branding it that
Yeah,
way. I guess.
it's got the IPA, but it also has all this other stuff going
Because
on.
really, what the fuck is it? It's I mean, saison
a
is
white
just a
IPA.
catch-all like fucking
it's a-
funky
it's a-
style.
fuck yeah.
yeah.
It's a bitter saison, I guess
So
you could call it.
what do you
but
think, Matt? How do
This
you
can't
like?
market as bitter saison.
To me, this tastes like peach pie.
Do you like
That's what
the
this
do you like
tastes
the hop profile?
Why do you ask?
Brewed with Sriracha Age and Styrian Golding
Hey, there it is.
in French oak Chardonnay barrels with Brett.
Maybe the Sriracha Ace was just there for like the bittering, you know,
You
'cause
know
it's
what?
a high alpha hop, you know.
You know what? I have to say that the Sriracha, this is an application of Sriracha that I like, where it's
Yeah.
much more subtle. You know, I wouldn't have known had you not said that. Because it's kind of like pushed into the back, but I get huge stone fruit off this peach. I get peach out of this like crazy. Like peach, it's got a little bit of spice. That's why I say like peach pie. It's almost got like a cinnamon nutmegs kind of like
dude. Now that you
spiciness
Yeah.
to the nose.
You said
dude.
peach pie, and I was like going down that road, and then you said cinnamon nutmeg, and it was like, yep, that's exactly what.
Yeah, there's something about the
Yeah.
nose that has like all this spice on it for sure.
But I definitely thought it was going to be sour, but it's not.
Cinnamon
it smelled
nutmeg is
sour.
a
It's
ex-girlfriend
tart.
of mine.
It was kind of a unique, nice surprise.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's got like brightness to it. You know, I would assume that the pH is lower, or the total acidity is lower than like your average beer. What?
Still reading the IRC.
Total acidity.
Yeah, but
So we found the one downfall of having a monitor with the IRC on it at all times.
Yeah.
this is a new feature on
I-
4 Brewers.
I'm not-
I've been having to control that. I'm just like it's like
try harder.
It's like the chocolate rain video. I'm like, I move my mouth away from the microphone.
We should all have like cough buttons. You know what I mean? Where you cough mutes.
Really?
I think we should all have buzzers.
Come on,
so we
get
can
on
just-
it, John. Get on it.
I built you a room. Like, and now you want a cough button.
We bought
Yeah. You built a room that's insufficient. Oh,
Jesus.
This room is dope.
ouch.
Yeah, this room's fucking rad. What the fuck?
It's got styrofoam
It's-
on the
it's
wall.
fine.
There's
I
one
guess.
thing missing from this room, and that's a goddamn sculpin sign, and I will be fixing that next week. Next time we
It's going to
record.
go right there.
There's sculpin
on that wall
sign.
right
I
there.
got a habanero sculpin sign. I'm bringing it from home. Going in
Nice.
the room. It's going to be dope.
So you can see it when we're talking on this camera.
That's right.
And on this camera. It'll be right there. Look at that.
We'll have like a 1 through 4 rating on it. Just point at it. Like,
I have to say, I am getting some triple-y kind of fruitiness to it, like that kind of like Westmalle triple like fruit. I mean, there's so much like piled on top of it.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to like find.
I think that's what the base beer was, right? They probably took a fairly traditional triple recipe and then
added hops and shit.
They're in all these other shenanigans.
Yep,
shenanigans.
And I have to say, like they first fermented in foeders, and then they moved it to Chardonnay barrels, which also would I assume
some wine character,
contribute to that like kind of fruitiness,
smell.
like that like fruity, like almost vinous kind of character.
Are they a traditional brewery, or I mean, as far as fermentation goes, do they have a foeder? I mean, not a foeder, but a cool ship.
I don't know. I don't think they're doing cool ship. I think they're fermenting in steel and then conditioning. Conditioning in different kinds of
cold ship
wood.
is kind of going on that sour wild angle.
Yeah.
I don't think Anchorage is all about that. They're more Brett focused, right?
I think that they could. I mean, Anchorage, Alaska's
apparently I googled
wild yeast.
Anchorage.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like they're a Brett yeast focused brewery. I think at this point, and when you get into the wild bacteria stuff, that gets weird.
Yeah, it's
not that they couldn't do it, but it's not what they're doing.
They
right
do seem to be doing a lot more like brettanomyces as opposed to a lot of like lactopedio type stuff. But
which is fine.
Do they do anything without Brett? Is it all Brett?
I believe it's all Brett, which is smart because the thing is like all that wood
is infected with Brett.
I don't think this barley wine
not
is
infected, but it's conditioned with Brett.
The barley wine would be clean.
They actually, the newest news on their website is that they just got their first cool ship, and they're excited about it.
There we go.
Hey.
So they're getting a cool ship. It's Alaska's first cool ship, spontaneous fermentation in the AK.
The next level.
Sweet. Which is cool because I mean fucking Alaska, man. Imagine the microflora in the air out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, for
Allagash.
sure.
Fucking
all of
caribou
that, all
beer,
that
you know?
sweet Russia microflora.
Yeah, Allagash.
Soviet microflora, come to you.
Microflora from Soviet Union ferment you.
beers.
Yeast strong like bear.
Yeast ride horse with no shirt.
He spittled.
No, it went in my mouth and back in the glass. And a little bit came out.
Russian yeast is the best to put in your beer.
Wow, God. That's
That's amazing.
Somebody save that.
Dude, mwah. That was
juicy.
That was gold. That was Putin pun gold. That was better, dude. That was better than Putin on the Ritz.
Which was phenomenal.
Oh man!
In Soviet Union, beer brews you.
Yes.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, I want to move on because the impetus of this whole show,
The impotence?
the impotence,
MG.
was this motherfucking big ass
Someone hold
whale
this
of
beer
beer
to the camera so they can see the label on it.
All right.
It is so
give it to
fucking
Nagel.
cool looking.
Nagel, the camera behind you, buddy. I mean, it's just so...
Yeah, it's an awesome
Rad.
label. It's just
Yeah.
we're doing the deal with the devil,
That's
which
a pretty rad label.
which is unusual for them because it's clean. It's not a Brett beer from what we can tell.
Oh, because I was just going to say, like, I'd love to have a clean beer from Anchorage just
Yeah.
to see what's going on.
And I believe
If you
this
notice,
is it.
though, they add Brett in the bottle. They're not putting Brett in fermentation. So
it's
all the
not
beers
clean.
that say they have Brett, no. All the beers that say they have Brett, they're bottled with Brett, but they're not brewed. They're fermented.
They're just
otherwise.
they're just conditioned with Brett.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of how Stone's doing with their Enjoy
Sure.
After beers. Yeah.
Which they
Passing.
just actually tweeted.
To start drinking them.
Yeah, they're like, it
their
actually
first
tastes
one.
pretty good right now, and it's, 10 months
Yeah.
early or something, or 8 months early. So
Because there's still a bunch on the shelf. They're like, drink what you have and fucking buy more.
Well, I think that's what you, when you condition with Brett, you don't know what you're going to get, and you got to sample it, and you bottle
Sorry,
a Brett
it
conditioned
says
beer.
Enjoy After fucking October 2015. I'm not going to not listen to the label.
Well, you can understand their motive behind doing that. No.
Okay, first and foremost, this beer is damn near still. This is like Lost Abbey levels of carbonation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
shots-
low, you son of a
Shots
bitch.
fired. Oh, come on, it's true and you know it.
I'm coaxing the shit out of it. It's
yeah, you're
getting
like
some.
punching the beer.
You've got it in a Lost Abbey fucking Tiku, too.
I'm pouring hard.
To get the extra
I heard
effect.
that.
The Lost Abbey Tiku is adept at forcing carbonation out of uncarbonated beer.
Mine has head. Look at that.
God, this beer.
Smell this. Holy
How?
For the
How
record,
many hours did they boil this beer?
dude. For the record, the label on the beer says that this started at 37 Plato.
Wow.
Okay, so 37 Plato.
There's a poem on the side of this.
Wow. We should read that.
37 Plato in specific gravity is 1.164.
Holy fuck.
Okay, like, that is absolute madness.
This is insane.
And what did we say? It was 17%.
17.3
Yeah,
17.3.
And so
yeah.
it finished at about, what did we say, like 10 Plato, which is 1.040 in specific gravity. So this is a fucking massive beer.
All right, do we want to hear the poem about it on the
yeah.
side?
I think Ira Glass should read
A
it.
deal with the devil. Do you want to read it as your Ira Glass voice?
I'll give it a shot.
All right, let's try
Give it a
it.
shot.
Okay, Matt is doing Ira Glass.
Deal with the devil. Faustian pleasure has consequence. What? You just muted me. What the fuck?
Take two.
All right, try it again. Deal with the devil. Faustian pleasure has consequence. Of this you must know.
Come on.
It was good, man.
When you go down to the when you go down to the crossroads, expect more than a show.
Okay.
Righty's fucking
when
me
we
up.
did the Ira Glass ads, I had to leave the room.
Yeah.
I just let it record, and I was like, "You want me to leave?" He's like, "Yeah, just leave the room."
Yeah. Robert
No
Johnson.
one look at me.
Yeah, Robert Johnson paid dearly for talent and fame. His deal with the devil left only his name. Eternal damnation. No chance for retreat, save only Mr. Daniel's stunning, cunning fiddle feet. The devil's in the details. Diabolical packs abound. Worldly riches and pleasures, but consequences come round. Twixt barley and beer, there is liquid sublime. But this devil is in the details, with consequences in time. 37 Plato, a matter of some gravity. A galaxy of hops only adds to depravity. 8 months in the wood of cognac in barrel. Mephistopheles, you're not. And the devil, your peril.
Bravo! That was dope. That was good.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Matt.
Thank you.
I love the little shot at Avery on that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. By the way, that was Tom Daldorf from Celebrator Beer News, which was because one cool thing that Anchorage does is like all of their beers are involve someone else. For example, Tide and the Takers was Sam Calagione. Galaxy Wide IPA was Bill Howell, 2010 Beer Drinker of the Year, which has meaning. I think.
There you go.
That's a really
How do you get that
Actually,
award?
that's a high honor. Like people vote on that and stuff. Like you got to be
A beer drinker?
drinking some beer.
You gotta be serious
Hey,
about
man,
it.
want some beer?
Yeah. But oh my god, like it's hot for one thing.
I
Like
can smell the heat,
yeah, you can
the alcohol,
yeah.
cherry note.
Devil went down the move out.
definitely get that
cognac.
sherry cognac
Cognac
thing.
is there.
Yeah, definitely.
And the wood, toffee.
Can we put this in like a snifter and just walk
Nuts.
around with it?
I feel like I need to like warm it with my hands. It does like it's like kind of oxidized already. It has that like sherry kind of vibe to it.
Well,
doesn't
it's
it?
aged in a cognac barrel.
Yeah, which is like an oxygen machine.
I mean,
Right.
And it definitely has that like kind of sweet, like almost Venice type of.
Yep.
I'm
taste.
getting like a really rich brown sugar on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's just like
that's savory.
yeah, like like almost maybe kind of candy sugarish a little bit, but
Yeah,
sure.
like dark candy sugar, where it's
Yeah.
almost is burnt a little tiny bit.
You make beer floats with like big rizzes, like Russian Imperial Stouts and stuff. This
Big
could
rizzes?
almost like be a good like beer float beer.
I usually make beer
think.
floats with the Rizza, like you know.
Yeah, exactly.
The Jizza and the what's the other one?
Snizzo.
It's actually the Rizza, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, You God, the Mastakilla.
Put the mic to your mouth, man.
What?
Put the mic to your mouth.
No. No, I lost count. The Master Killer.
Yeah,
You
well,
interrupted the Wu-Tang Clan.
Magilla Gorilla.
the Rizza, the Jizza, and then it was some skit I saw where he's like, and the blah 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 blah. It's kind of like The Office with break me off a piece of that. No,
Kick
no
Out
one
Bar?
watches The Office.
Yeah, no, we lost it.
We all know it's Kick Out Bar, but
Did we?
Andy didn't know it was Kit Kat bar. He's like, spit old drool.
I think it was Old Dirty Bastard and the Method Man. I think I'm missing one, but it's okay.
Red Man?
Well, he's kind of unofficial.
Isn't he?
He's one of the Killer Bees. Killer Bees!
Method Man was the shit.
This tastes like
Is he still recording?
candied walnuts.
Hey, okay, yeah,
There you go.
I would buy that. It does have like a certain like nuttiness. It's almost, I almost get more of an almondy type of thing than walnuts necessarily.
Yeah, like burnt sugar.
Man, I don't want to
Like
have
cracker,
to like do
really
a show.
expensive Cracker Jacks.
This beer is meant to be sipped over a long period of time. I think it's
Around a
really
campfire.
It's going to be a long episode, you guys. We're just going to talk about some stuff. We're going to enjoy this beer.
It's
Hey,
very, very,
Jason,
very
sweet
rich.
sweet sticker that you got there. It's pretty rad.
What's
So,
that?
never mind.
What are you talking about?
Trying to draw the show out, but didn't work out real well.
Talking about Fort Brewer sticker?
Yes,
Am I
yes, that's right.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, and Island Brewing. I have an Island Brewing sticker on my laptop. Not because I particularly like Island Brewing, not that they're bad, but I have 2 Chromebooks at home, and I needed a way to tell them apart, and I had that sticker sitting there, so I was just like, all right, that's the other one.
It's good. It's a good identifier.
Sarah Palin Microflora.
No, you should see. Vreeland posted an awesome
that like
picture for what's going to happen if our Patreons don't pay up. I think it's. We'll put that in the blog so that way.
That's a visual reference.
Yeah,
That is beautiful.
It's a pile of
White people.
naked.
They're all bony.
Naked people in the mud.
It's a
fucking
pile
in
of
the mud.
South Park bodies.
Yeah, fucking in the mud with a 4B logo on top of it.
Yeah, that's got to go in the show notes.
God.
Yeah,
It's
for
got show
sure.
notes.
That is brilliant.
That's like parentheses, not safe for work, because that's a lot of.
I think our show is kind of not safe for work, although people seem to listen to it at work.
which is surprising.
We don't have
considering,
opinions on it, I guess.
considering how much like talk about dick there is.
Oh, we say fuck a lot.
That's true. We just say fuck.
I stream them at work.
Yeah. I mean,
Of course.
people's definition of safe for work varies, though. I was talking about, that website, The Chive?
Sure.
They'll be like, yeah, check it out. It's safe for work. And I'm like, I'm sorry, just because that girl's nipples aren't showing doesn't mean that you can have her fucking naked. Like, your boss is going to be like, hey, Harris, what are you doing over there? What are you looking at?
There's no nipples.
No, her nipples aren't showing. Oh, carry on then.
Chill, bro.
It's just, she's in a bra, dude. Her tits aren't all the way out. It's like, what? Who's looking at that at work?
I don't know.
Fuck the Chive.
calm.
I'm not a fan of the Chive.
Nagel.
Yeah.
If the Chive
No,
offered to
not at all.
sponsor us, I would
Yeah,
say no, thank you.
They ban every website.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to read this article, but I can't because it's banned.
Yeah.
Like,
At my work, they think that browsing the internet should be a personnel management issue and not a fucking technical issue. So, as an IT person, I appreciate that.
cool.
I don't have to
agree
filter
with
content.
that.
It's your job. If you think your employees are looking at things they're not supposed to, then fucking manage them like a manager.
That's
Fucking
I
don't rely on the
completely
goddamn
agree.
That's how I do
computer
it.
to do
Yes.
it.
Nice. That's pretty badass.
Take action and don't
yeah.
be lazy about it.
Which coming from what is essentially a tech company that's pretty badass.
Right.
I'm for it.
Well, they are.
You know, I have to say that like this beer, considering the high final gravity and all that, like it's not sickly sweet.
No,
it's
I
not
think it
sick-
works in their favor.
Yeah.
It's not diabetes. It's
not-
not Dirk Lurd.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just like falling into a sugar coma right now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's
God, why?
I mean it definitely has like some sweetness to it. I mean obviously, but it's not like it doesn't detract so much from it. You know, it's not like super off-putting, which I think is a
Pudding.
testament. You know.
Pudding.
Honestly, like this is one of those. Like we've got partial bottles, and sometimes we'll have bottles that are sacrificial, where we drink half of it and then we can't finish it. But I'll be goddamned if we're not finishing this.
Seriously, that's what I'm saying. This beer is the hype behind this beer is real.
Bottle.
yeah.
Me and Officer Rabbit here are gonna sit here and watch you drink the whole bottle.
Please no. You should definitely if there's any leftovers, reduce it down and put it on pancakes or a waffle.
That would be fucking amazing.
Another great idea.
No, dude, on fucking French toast.
This is a $30
What, the
bottle of
French
beer. I'm not
toast?
putting it on any goddamn waffles. Motherfuckers. Not made
The
of
most
money,
expensive waffles you've ever eaten.
right?
Seriously, but it'd be some bomb ass waffles.
But it
It's like-
would
it's
be
like
some bomb-ass
gold.
waffles.
It's the kind of waffles that have like gold flake on them,
Totally,
for no
yeah.
reason.
Just
and it comes, and it comes with a bottle of the most of Opus One for no reason. It's that kind of shit.
Like
what
this
is-
almost reminds
caviar.
me kind of like a Utopias from Sam Adams.
I could go with
Which
that.
I have
Less
some.
boozy though, and a little bit richer. Like
Yeah.
It's very rich.
kind of maybe like what they were going for.
No.
Shots fired. What a revelation.
Shots fired.
Oh, what Sam Adams was going for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're probably right about that.
Like this feels. It does. Like it reminds me of like I think what Utopias is going for is a beer, but done better.
What do you guys think about this beer as far as aging goes?
Oh, I think it has spectacular, spectacular aging potential.
You know, I've been getting a little bit kind of wary of aging lately. Just I've had some beers that, I mean, it's not that they go bad, but it's like more often than not they're not getting better. They're getting different, but they're not getting better.
You know, this is an interesting topic of conversation because, like, you know, I think the initial first when you really start geeking out on beer and you hear that cellaring is a thing, the reaction is to buy a shitload of beer and have a massive fuck off cellar where you have all this wacky shit, and then eventually you realize that you never drink it.
Never gonna drink it.
You never drink any of those fucking beers, and so you see people with basements full of beer, and you're like, you just have a storage problem.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that you have.
What were you trying to say?
I bought a.
It's another version of Hoarders.
When's the last time? No. When are you going to drink all that brewery beer, John? When?
Right now. We're doing that after the show.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But the point is...
I need help. I need help. Wait.
Admitting you have a problem is the first step, John.
No, it's really hard.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm a hoarder.
That brings up a good
I've been to Literal Society for hoarding.
Because I actually thought about this last day. Yesterday was the last day to buy... this month's allocation of Reserve Society beers for the brewery.
Right.
And I spent a lot of money making this studio.
Right.
Not a lot, maybe $300.
A solid amount.
And
you know what? Thanks to Patreon, that's going to be covered. Thanks, guys.
Sure, yeah.
That's awesome.
But at the same time, I saw the email, and I always wait until the last day because maybe I don't want those beers. And there was one beer on there in particular that I wanted to buy, but I looked at it and I go, I have so much beer as it is. In the office, you can see how many boxes I have in there that I still haven't put on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it does get to a point where it's like, this beer's not getting any better the older it gets. The stuff that is on the shelf.
I think that was why, I don't remember who it was, but someone locally did let's drink every brewery bottle. I think that was just a way of being let's get rid of these.
Jacob.
That was Jake, yeah.
Vodka X.
I think it was just we have all these bottles, let's fucking drink them, finally.
Yeah, that came about because I mentioned I wanted to do a brewery tasting, and I pretty much have every brewery beer ever made. Yeah. And Jacob, he was the first person to hit me up. He's like, if you're going to do that, I will join you in that, and let's do it. And I didn't do it, and so he
ran with it.
Yeah, he ran with it. So, yeah, I don't hoard beer just to hoard beer to say, look at all my beer. I have the best intentions. When you look at someone like Dr. Bill, he's got a lot of beer stashed, but he's really smart about it. He knows what to cellar and what not to cellar. And he has parties and he has opportunities to get rid of that beer and to drink it. Where with me, it's just, I'd love having so many beers available to try. And it paid off because we're going to do a dissident show, and you're like, do you have this beer? And I just walked in. Yep, there it is. Yep. But how often does that happen? It doesn't happen very often at all.
Well, and that's the thing, and especially, we're in a kind of unique position because we're doing a podcast, and so these opportunities pop up more often than not. But for your casual beer geek, it happened to me. The reason that I have a dissident from 2008 is because in 08-09, I went through my early beer geek period, and I just started buying beer, and I built up this giant cellar. And now I have all this beer that that's pretty much bad.
I like how it's an artist. They'd be like, "Oh, this is a Matt Becker from his early beer geek period."
Honestly, though, that's you're joking, but that's kind of how it was for me.
I think all of us, you kind of are like, "This beer's awesome. Let's buy them all. I've never heard of this. Buy that. Buy this. Buy one of everything."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what when I brought up the email from the brewery, and I'm a Reserve Society member. I have been on it, and I always will be. That's just it's without saying. But I was doing something in here and I go, oh shit, I got to buy that tonight. And I thought, man, I just spent all this money doing this stuff to this room. Do I need this beer? And I looked at Freckle. It was Freckle. I'm like, maybe I should buy Freckle. Okay. And then I forgot about it. And just didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
And it was like horchata and some other beers that I've had before.
Yeah, I got those because I know those will they're fun to break out a party.
Sure.
Yeah.
And no, it's cool to have those beers.
Learn
Like,
to throw voice for your friends, fun at parties.
when you just go to a party or a bottle share or whatever, and it's like, this is a so and so from this year, people don't really analyze it as much as they should when you break it out into big bottle share. 'Cause
Right.
It's like, oh my god, this is Black Tuesday from
And
2009.
then untap it and
And they get credit for it.
Yeah, it's a tick and that's it.
Yeah, you're just getting the cred. You're like, hey, I brought you a
Sure.
2009 Doggy Claws, and they're like, all right, now you're in. I will offer you my next beer.
And
Yeah.
I think all I'm trying to say is, you might be wasting your time and real estate
Space,
inside your
yeah.
house storing those beers, unless you're someone like Bill. He does it every day. It's his job. And he's been doing it for 30 plus years, and he knows what he's doing when it comes to this. That's why he has Expedition Stout every vintage, because he knows that's a beer that holds up well in his cellar.
And I think that's the point that I was trying to make is like eventually, once you learn the value of cellaring and you go through these beers that you've been saving, and some are really shitty and some of them are awesome, you really kind of are able to narrow down what you should be cellaring and what you shouldn't. Because, the original impulse is like, I like this beer, I'm going to buy one and just hang on to it for no fucking reason.
Right.
That's what I did.
Yeah. But eventually you realize, like for me, like my cellaring, like the beers that I buy specifically to cellar, is pretty much just goose at this point. Because those are the ones that I know that I can hang on to them for almost an indefinite period of time and they're still going to be good.
Sours in general, I found don't hold up really well. I just bought one of those like wood and metal slats. Like it's got the little metal with the holes in it. You just slide in the slats to put in the wood shelves from like Home Depot.
Yeah.
So that's like my new beer shelf, and I've got one pretty much full of beer already, which is fucking stupid. But my sour shelf is getting fatter and fatter because I'm like, I don't need to throw any more fucking stouts or barley ones on here, really.
Yeah.
Never.
And so like, but the sours, I know that I can sit on that Littoral for 2 years and it'll still be good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of funny because like some of my biggest disappointments have been in the Imperial Stout barley wine area, because
but it's understandable.
Yeah, because the thing is like, those are the types of beers that you're not just going to break them out on a Wednesday night. Like, well, I won't. Maybe some people will. Righty will.
I used a Black Tuesday not too long ago to make chili with.
That's a good use of it.
And it actually, it got me a case of Sublimely Self-Righteous.
Hey, there you go.
But no, that's it. I don't know if you're joking or not, Jason, but that is a really good use of a beer like that, because you can't drink that beer by yourself on a Wednesday night.
No, like
Absolutely
pour yourself
not.
a glass of it and then use the rest of it to cook.
Dude,
And
See, the thing, you wanted something funny? Like just last night, I had the Lair of the Bear from, it was the Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from Mammoth.
Is there a maiden fair involved?
But no, dude, Lair of the Bear, I'm gonna go ahead, promote that shit right now. It was so fucking good. I was like, it blew my mind.
It's the lure burr.
The Lure of the Burr. But I was so surprised by how much I loved it. But I only finished half the bottle because it was like 9%, and I had other shit to do.
A forum I go on does a segment or like a Cellar Raid Wednesdays once a month, where everyone
That's a good
kind
way
of
to
like,
go.
hey guys, pull a bottle out of your cellar and post online and post your thoughts.
Talk about it.
And that's the thing that I always wanted to do, is do like a whale tasting or whatever, where people just like come to this party. Yeah, that's Wednesday Whales. is a
Hashtag
great
Wednesday
idea.
Whales Day.
Yes.
There you go.
I love it.
Wednesday.
Nice.
I
Wednesday
love
Whales
it.
Day.
I love it.
I'm going to go buy the domain right now.
But no, that's a great idea, because the thing is like there is, and this bottle of Dissident that I have is also going to be a part of that. There's this idea of I'm going to break out this bottle of beer at the right time. There's never the right time.
Right.
The right time never comes. And that's the other disadvantage of cellaring, is you always have this amazing...
It's like falling in love.
Yeah, seriously. You always have this amazing bottle of beer that you are never going to drink because it's like too nice or whatever. It's all of the pitfalls of beer geekery.
I know.
That's what we're talking
I
about
started cellaring Black Tuesday. I think 2010 was the first one I got, and it was really hot on day one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I held on to it for a year, and it actually improved. That was like, and then 2011 came around, which was super drinkable on day one.
Right.
And I'm like, now I have 6 bottles, and it's like, And they're probably not improving, but who knows?
Oh, if there's any beer, and that's one reason that I think that this Anchorage beer is going to improve is because the ABV is so high.
But yeah, this one, wow,
this one will improve.
This is a beautiful beer.
Honestly, this beer, almost everything Anchorage has. If you look on like Rate Beer or BA, they're like 99, 100. And they deserve it though. Like they're just fucking hitting home runs.
And the nice thing that I love about Anchorage is that it's not like a Hill Farmstead or whatever that it's been so built up that it's kind of insufferable.
Yeah,
You know what
I went to a market in Redlands and picked this one up off the shelf. I didn't have to fucking wait in line. I didn't have to drive to a fucking farm in the middle of the country.
Yeah, exactly. And this is this is like aspirational. Like I drink this beer and I'm like, this is like a driving force for me.
It breaks the mold.
This is like the kind of beer that I aspire to make.
Anchorage, your beer makes me want to be a better man.
It does. It makes me want to be a better brewer. It does. So Anchorage, cheers to you, Gabe.
No doubt.
I'm going to say this too. I just bought WednesdayWhalezday.com.
He did. I watched it happen.
There it is.
I think you should do Wednesday Whales, WALEZ. Wednesday Whalezday.
You should have consulted us.
Yeah, so buy another one.
Way to go.
That's another $9.99 you're going to have to bust on Wednesday Whalesday.
Can I get Greg at whatever?
Greg at WednesdayWhalezday.com.
Oh my God.
Email address, please.
Four Brewers, fucking business cards, Wednesday Whalesday. Like fucking Jason at WednesdayWhalesday.com. Yeah, we got to get that.
That's the best.
I got to buy Whalesday now. Shit.
This is what we're doing with your Patreon money, you guys. All right. We're just blowing it all on fucking vanity domains.
All right. Anchorage, Gabe, well done. This was awesome.
So
this is a
loving the beer.
spectacular beer. If you want to find us on the internet, you can find us at Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
WednesdayWhalesday.com.
You can find us on WednesdayWhalezday.com.
No, right now it's Wednesday Whale Day. Now we got to buy Whales Day.
But you have to buy whales with an S and with a Z. So you're going to be dumping a lot of money.
WALEZ or the spelling you have.
Whales.
I think either or. Make it redirect to 4B. That'll be dope.
There you
Just
go.
WednesdayWhalesday.com.
Exactly. Right now, yeah.
Dude, I think we should get it to catch on enough. Untapped will have to make a badge. They're like, well, we can't afford to not recognize Wednesday Whalesday.
Absolutely.
True.
Everyone tweet at Untapped for Brewers.
Hashtag
badge,
Wednesday Whale Day.
Wednesday Whale Day.
Wednesday
That's what we
Whalesday.
Hashtag Wednesday Whalesday.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can find us at www.WednesdayWhalesday.com. Or you can find us at feedback at fourbrewers.com. And as always, hey, John, thanks for hanging out, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Brew the poop out of it.
Yeah, brew the shit out of it.
Brew it in your butt.
You're so politically
Brew
correct.
it in your butt.
Brew it in your butt.
Brew it in your
Put
butt.
some beer in your butt. Put some yeast in your butt.
Put some barley in your butt. Then put some yeast in your butt. Then put some yeast in your butt. Now you got some beer in your butt.
Jump up and down in your butt.
Oxygenate in your butt.
Yeah, need some pure oxygen in your butt. Or else you won't get a good fermentation in your butt.
Sanitize your butt.
Yeah, seriously.
Put some Star Stan in your butt. Put a little man in your butt.
Don't fear the foam in your butt.
Don't fear the foam in your butt. I'm farting foam. Ah, that's cool. Don't
Just
fear it.
bubbles.
It's like day drinking.
Little bubbles.
Dirk lurd. Dirk lurd.
Only the darkest
I was
lords are coming out
dying.
here.
Ermagerd the Dirk lurd.
The end of the last,
Ermagerd the Dirk lurd.
the outtakes, the last one where we're the beatbox and the oh my god, I was in tears. Wow. It's so awesome.